So let's get started here. I'm going to go into my working directory here. I'm going to go into the chapter 14 Rhymer. I'm going to say new PY. The program needs to be called Rhymer. And I'm not going to use VI. Uh, Falling back on old habits there. I'm going to use the interface here. And we're going to create rhyming words. And I'll put that here as the description for the program. And we're going to get a word as the input. It's going to be a word, and it will be the word to rhyme. And there's nothing else to take. We're not really parsing a lot of arguments on this. We're really trying to learn about regular expressions here. So let's do that. And then importantly, we're going to import the RE module because we're going to be all about regular expressions on this. So to get started, let's just print. I'm going to print the args.word. And it's always nice just to make sure that the program does something. I will run this with no arguments. I'll see that I get a help statement. I can run with -h. That looks pretty good. I'll put in here foo, and it prints foo. And so I'm thinking about here, like this stream diagram. If you think from a higher level, all computer programs, basically, if they're useful in any way, take some input and transform it to some output. So we're going to take some word, transform it to some rhyming words. And so we have a help now that looks like this that is suggested. And we're going to need to come up with some way to break this word into possibly a leading consonant and the rest of the word. So I decided to create a function called stemmer. Now this gets at the heart of test-driven development. So before I do anything, before I try to make this whole program work, I just want to think about the first idea, which is that I want to take that given word and somehow split it into two pieces. And so I'm going to take that, this idea, this is going to be my test function. A little bit of a mess. Let's fix this code real quick. And the way that I tend to like to write programs is to imagine test stemmer. I want to imagine a function, and then I immediately go write a test for that function to think about how I will call it, how I will use this function. So I'm going to put here this, and then I'm going to write a function. I'm going to write the stemmer function that's going to take a word and it's going to do something. Right now I'm just going to put in here pass, and I'm going to say break word into consonants and the rest. So right now I'm going to use pass. Pass is a statement that does literally nothing. It's like a no-op, no operation in Python. And so right now my program, my function doesn't work. And the idea here with test-driven development is that I can run PyTest. And I'll use the X and XV options. And I can run this on the Rhymer program, and it's going to run this test stemmer. And test stemmer is going to exercise the stemmer function with the empty string. And so that's one of the things that I always like to start off with testing is give a function basically nothing. And then what does it get back? Like I'm giving it a string. Well, the empty string is a valid string value. So given the empty string, I imagine, okay, what do I expect to get back this? Well, I should get back the first part is the empty string and the last part is the empty string. There are no consonants. But when I give it the word cake, I should get a C and then the ake. If I give it chair, I should get the CH and then the AIR part. If I give it the word apple, and notice here I'm giving it an uppercase version, I always want to deal with lowercase for the output. So I'm going to get back nothing for the leading consonant sound, and the rest of the word is apple. But the opposite is true if I give it a word that's only composed of consonants. I'm going to get back all those consonants and then nothing for the rest of the word. So There are a lot of different ways I could write this function. For instance, you might look at this first and the last case as failures to find the rest of the word. And so should it throw an exception? Well, what should your program do? Well, that's really up to you to decide how to write this and how you'll want to write your code to handle possible exceptions or whatnot. For now, I just want to run this, and I'm going to save that, and I'm going to run PyTest on this. And what's going to happen is that it's going to run stemmer with the empty string, and it says I expect to get back the empty string and the empty string, a tuple made of those two, but I get back a none because I don't have a return from my stemmer function, so the default return value is none. So when I run this bit of code creates none. And that is definitely not equal to a tuple composed of the two empty strings. So now it's my job to figure out how to write the stemmer function that makes this work. And that's what we're going to talk about.